It is good that we're having this hearing immediately following the full committee hearing with Administrator Neffinger yesterday. Recently, wait times have been a major cause of concern within our nation's airports. Last week, for example, due to extreme wait times, the Transportation Security Administration reallocated resources to Chicago Midway International Airport and Newark Liberty Airport to decrease the length of screening lines. While I'm pleased that TSOs are being given the opportunity to be converted to full-time, and the administration has taken steps to address the problem in the interim, we need to find a viable long-term solution to this problem. Reallocating or taking one airport's resources and giving it to another will only fix the problem temporarily. For the summer travel period, TSA predicted that nearly 740 million individuals will use commercial aviation to travel, which happens to be the most air travelers this country has ever seen. In contrast, TSOs, who are responsible for screening passengers and baggage, at some of the lowest numbers we've seen in years. This is due in large part to limited resources. Under the former Administrator Pistol, the agency pivoted to risk-based security, a frame of mind that we focus our resources on individuals who we know less about, and rightfully so. However, this methodology also came with programs that were not sustainable due to security risk, such as Managed Inclusion 2, which has since ceased. Although they are still using a risk-based approach, it does not take away from the fact that the amount of travelers, when compared to the number of people traveling, is insufficient. Last week, the Transportation Security Subcommittee held a roundtable discussion with the airports, and many important things were discussed. There were general agreements that BDOs could be used in other roles throughout the screener model. Yesterday, we learned TSA agrees and supports the federal security directors having the flexibility to use BDOs in different ways. We also heard concern on whether or not federal security directors had enough flexibility to operate necessary checkpoints with staffing. The administrator testified yesterday that he believed that they always had such flexibility and that he worked to ensure that they knew that they had this flexibility. Now we get to hear more perspectives from stakeholders who are intimately involved with the commercial aviation and airlines and airports themselves. Today, I look forward to hearing what your experiences throughout this issue have been, as well as how you view the steps that are being taken. I would also like to thank President Cox from AFGE for being here to serve as a voice of the workforce. TSOs represent the front line in our efforts to secure the commercial aviation sector. They do an outstanding job screening passengers and their belongings, and often unfairly receive the majority of the blame for this issue. Their perspective is absolutely vital in this conversation. With that, Mr. Chairman, I want to thank you, and I yield back the balance of my time.